channel, Pegasus. It's time to fly, and this is the weekly spell check. So, while we just have a little chat about what's been going on and where we're going, I'm just going to light a little bit of sage. You know how I love to cleanse the energy and make sure our readings are nice and clear for you guys so you can get your messages. So these spell checks then, so this is like a weekly reading. And in this weekly reading, it really kind of like looks at what energies are in and around all of us, I guess. I do mention some astrology within the readings. I'm an intuitive reader, so I use lots of different decks and yeah, I just intuitively pick up on a collective energy and do a reading for you. If the readings don't, might not all completely resonate with you, because lots of people will be watching this. So for some of you, there might be poignant parts of the reading, others it might just all completely click for you. Who knows? But we shall see. If you are subscribed, thank you so much for your support. Love it that you take the time to come and look at my readings. And yeah, if you're not subscribed yet and you've stumbled across the reading and this is new for you, then please, do subscribe and become part, because then you'll get all the notifications when the new readings go up. I am also on Instagram, so you can find me there. My links are below, and I do a daily oracle on that channel, which I also publish through to TikTok as well. So yeah, join us on there. But if you can like, share and subscribe, it's just really lovely, and yeah, I appreciate it hugely. So on to the reading. So today I'm going to use my Stargazer deck. So these are really fun cards, and I always comment on these because they're really colourful and bright and beautiful, and they're very sort of like based in like fairy tale and folklore and this sort of thing. So I'm going to use those. I'm also going to use my Law of Attraction cards. I don't know if any of you listen to Abraham Hicks or Esther, and they do lots of talks, and they talk about this energy and vibrational effects that we have on our life and manifesting things we want and that sort of thing. So I'm going to pull a couple of those, and then I'm going to use some of my Doreen Virtue Changes cards just to see what changes are coming up for the collective, and maybe a little bit of love at the end, depending how we get on. I mean, who knows? We might be talking love throughout the reading. I don't aim to do that on these readings. I aim to just identify what's going on for people, really. What's going on, what might be, things to look out for, things coming up, our energy, how we're feeling, this sort of thing. And maybe if there's any sort of significant input from the people around us, that's our loved ones or our friends or, people we work with, that sort of thing. Okay, so, dear angels and spirit, can we please give my lovely listeners some really good insights to their week? What can we expect? Okay, well that one kind of forcefully shot out. The Empress, lovely. That's a lovely card to shoot out, because that's like an energy of growth for you. Perhaps you're going to be in that energy of the Empress this week, which is very beautiful, elegant. This doesn't necessarily have to be feminine. If you're a man listening to this, it can just mean that you're in your power, and that power is like very fertile. And, everything you touch, you can make grow. In this particular card, she has all these stars around her head, which is this star quality. She has this shred of wheat in her hand, which is this growth, this ability to ground themselves and create. And yeah, this idea of this golden. The Empress kind of, when she's in her power and it is in the upright position, she's golden. She can create some beautiful things. So who knows? Things coming up this week could be spotlighting you at work. Perhaps something's going to come along and something amazing is going to happen. It's going to have really great repercussions. Maybe you're going to impress somebody. Maybe something's just this growth's going to come out of nowhere, and you're kind of going to be thinking, well, I really needed that at that time, and it was good that we had it. We've got a few reversals. So we then have the Lovers card. So this Empress, we have two major arcana in the card so far. So next to the Empress is this Lovers card. So maybe there is love in the air for some of you guys. Next, this Empress, that can be love for your children, for your family, or it can be somebody new, somebody sexy and somebody exciting in and around you. Okay, now this is number 6. And because I'm doing a weekly reading, who knows, this could be Saturday. Perhaps Saturday you're going to go on a date, or you're going to go out and enjoy somebody's company, or there's going to be some significance to do with love in the coming Saturday. Yeah, and some of you listening might be Gemini, so this might say that, you know what, you're going to be in your energy this week, and that Gemini air energy is that, you know, you're going to be on point with your thought processes. You're going to make good decisions. You're going to articulate yourself well in a specific scenario. All in all, it's a really good card. Okay, next to this Lovers card. Oh, we have a no. Okay. We have the Emperor in reverse, card of Aries. So we have love counterparts on two sides of this Gemini, and the Empress and the Emperor, obviously, they're the mother and father of the tarot, really, and one's in reverse and one's in the upright. The Divine Feminine is in the upright, standing tall. The Divine Masculine is maybe confused, upside down, undecisive about something, not in their power, not showing the love and strength that they normally do for the Empress, which could be you. Or maybe it's switched. Maybe you're identifying with this Emperor card that's feeling a little bit out of sorts in terms of love. Maybe you've got so much work and you're so busy that you've not had the energy to plough anything into an existing relationship or starting a new one even. Maybe you are looking to meet your divine counterpart and you are single and you're wanting to date, but you just don't have the time right now. You're just busy with your work. It depends how ambitious you are and how much percentage of your time work is in your headspace, or work is an important aspect. But it feels like this Divine Masculine Emperor may be switched off. Maybe he's not present. This could be a long distance relationship. Perhaps if this is your Emperor and they live away, you've not seen each other in a while. There's a side note for somebody. The fact that this Lovers card is in the middle of these two counterparts. They're not side by side. So they're kind of separated. So for somebody out there, are you in separation from your counterpart, your soulmate? Maybe it's a twin flame union and you're in separation and something triggers you this week that makes you think there's distance between you and somebody you love. This could also be that if you are parents and this idea is regarding a child, it could be that two parents are not on the same page with something that's going on with your children. Perhaps that's causing some problems, some difficulties at home, which is going to really, I'm going to clarify them in a minute, which is going to call for you to need to come into balance with each other in order to make the right decisions and communicate the right thing. Okay, so next we have this Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Were you offered something or gifted something that you turned down? Did you think something wasn't enough for you? Did you miss the gift? Because there was a gift. It feels like somebody tried to offer you something that you rejected. Maybe that's going to be this energy this week, that you might get offered something. This could be a job, this could be a position, or this could be some sort of promotion. this could be something within your home life. But ultimately, these aces are like gifts. They're gifts from the universe. Okay, so you don't see it right now, but we're going to offer you this. Could be that you're searching for a new home. We're going to offer you this. And then you're like, that's not really for me. It's in the wrong area. It's the wrong house. It's not what I'm looking for. It's not what I had my mind set on. And then it turns out it's the best thing you ever did. Or it turns out that you go and have a look, or you go and check it out and you think, you know what, that could actually work. It's like this idea of, in the background, something is being offered. So be alert this week, guys. Be alert for things that cross your path, because it might be something better than you realise. Okay, so then we have the Moon card, another major arcana. This is a card of Pisces, and this Moon card is in reverse. So it feels like something is coming to light this week. I feel like someone's going to come to you and tell you something or offer you something. Maybe it's another reason this Ace of Pentacles is in reverse alongside this Moon card in reverse. Because maybe it's in reverse because it just hasn't happened this week. So maybe it's something going on in the background that people are working out and sorting out on your behalf, and you just have no knowledge of it yet. And this week it's going to be illuminated with this moon energy. Something's going to come out and become apparent, and you're going to become aware of something. We also have this little white rabbit in this particular deck for this Moon card. Such lovely colours, aren't they, these cards? So this little rabbit, often when I see a white rabbit in any sort of tarot, it's like, can be the fear and anxiety of something. Something that maybe is looming over you or is in your sphere of energy right now, and it's like, oh, I don't really want to have to deal with that right now. I don't really want to have to think about that. In reverse, it feels like, again, it's something you don't know yet. So maybe just a little word this week to be careful. Maybe your anxieties are gonna reveal themselves over something that's been in the background and you've kind of been putting it off. So if there's things you know that you need to do this week, I don't know. Last week I was supposed to renew my car insurance. I completely forgot. It could be some little, these basic day-to-day housekeeping things that perhaps you just need to keep an eye on, the dates of something. Make sure that you don't miss something, or that can then lead to some sort of anxiety. Okay, so then we have this King of Swords. This King of Swords is more air energy. Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. And we have this kind of like beautiful bird wearing its crown. So this king can be very forthright, very straight-laced, but to the point. They will speak their truth and help you to become very clear about where they stand on things. There's this sense of getting to the point. Is there something going on this week where it's been dragging on and you feel like now I need to take on this complete energy of this King of Swords and plough into this situation and get it sorted? I need to communicate. Maybe I need to make that call, send that email, have that conversation. It's time. Feels like you're going to have some sort of decision to make this week with this Lover's card. I always say this, obviously, for me in the tarot, it's not just the Lover's card. It doesn't just pertain to love. It, can be about crossroads and making choices. And that could be metaphorically what your Empress and Emperor are about. It could be a decision. There could be this energy of this Empress, which is, she would be very sure about a decision. She would believe in herself. She would know that she had all the information she needed in order to make a really good decision. However, this reverse Emperor would be somebody on the other side of that, which would be, I don't know what I'm doing. Is this the right decision? Should I stay? Should I go? This kind of energy. So you could be very aware of which one you are listening to this. So you could listen to this and say, you know what? Actually, I know which one I am. I'm the Empress. I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm going. I'm looking out for my own growth, so I'm going to just make those necessary decisions. And if you relate to this Emperor card, which is confused, unsure, I would just say, here's a note to you, take some time. Take a bit of time to make your decision, because it might be you don't want to make any rash decisions. Okay, so on the bottom of the deck, I normally mention this at the start, but I've only just realised, is the Eight of Swords. So you have quite a lot of air energy. So I think if you're not an Aquarius, Gemini, Libra yourself and listen to this and resonating with any of this for this week rather, then it could just be a matter of you occupying your thoughts heavily right now and feeling a little bit weighted down. Perhaps it feels like there are so many things to be completed this week on your kind of to-do list. Does it feel there's a lot going on? You know what? We had a new moon on Friday in Aries. And then in a couple of weeks' time, we'll have this other full moon in Libra. So like those two energies are quite different, but they sort of, one's lining you up for the other almost. So the new moon in Aries for me it's kind of lighting a match under us. Kind of, for want of a better word, kicking us up the backside, saying to us, stop, going over and over something you already know you need to do. Just go and do it. Don't put off today what you can do tomorrow, or whatever the saying is. I just said that wrong, I'm sure. Don't put off till tomorrow what you can do today, that's it. That's the one, yeah. And for some of you, that's going to be a really important message. Stop putting stuff off, just go do it. Worry about the consequence after. Just stop worrying about it all. I watched a broadcast that I sent out to some of my really good friends this week, and it was Law of Attraction, the cards that I'm going to use actually, and they really talked about how sometimes in life when we want to manifest more or we want bigger things, the mere idea that we say, we'd like to achieve bigger things, using that word bigger is like instantly makes us think that it's unattainable or it's outside of our reach. So I feel like there's a real big message in that, and the message is that everything you really want to manifest or desire, it's inevitable when you use words like inevitable, or use words like what I want is certain. I don't know all the answers to where I'm going yet, because you know what? I'm changing as I go. So I can't pin it down exactly, but you know what? It's all certain. And there's more. There's always more. Easily receive. It's this kind of energy. So there's something in that for you as well. So if you're feeling a little bit low, vibe, start using these phrases to yourself, start speaking in this internal voice, because it's important. It becomes our thoughts and our reality. The more we think these, this inner voice talks to us, the more it develops the choices we make and then the reality in which it plays out. Okay, so from this changes card, the first card I've got is adult children. Are some of you needing to do some inner child work? It's over this Empress as well. So maybe it's to do with you and your mother. Because like I say, she is kind of the Queen of Queens and the Mother of the Tarot. And there's some difficulty between you and Mum. Maybe for some of you, your mum's passed, and that's been really difficult for you. Mother's Day came and went the other week, and for some people that would have been a really very difficult time. I actually did a post on my daily oracle about that, and it was just sort of saying to people, when people pass, it's, we're dealing with the loss and the grief of that, but they never stop loving you, and I think that's really important for somebody to hear today. If you've got a parent in spirit, they still love you and they won't stop loving you. If that was a parent in spirit and you had a difficult relationship with them, the same applies. For some of you, it will be mum, you know, that's in present, that is, you know, on this earth plane still with us, and perhaps you're having some difficulties with them. Is it hard to relate to them? Is it hard sometimes to show love, you know, for ourselves and with them? And for some of you that is a difficult relationship, it might be worth looking into doing some inner child work, you know, asking ourselves just some of these questions. How does it make me feel? Why do I think it makes me feel like that? You know, this sort of thing. Had a lot of energy in my weekly oracle last week, and it was all really heavy energy about healing work, grief, losing people you love. You know, it was quite a lot to do with that. So I think that might still be around us a little bit. Okay, so then the next changes card we have. Beautiful cards, aren't they? Butterflies are capturing this idea of our spirit world and spirit around us, and this idea of wings again, I guess. As you know, being Pegasus, I do like to comment on these ethereal beings with wings that surround us daily. This one says join in. Okay. So, and I've placed this over the Lovers card and the Moon card. So is this join in? Is this maybe start dating somebody? Join in, take part, be present. Know that you've got to have some sort of input. It doesn't just knock on your door. You need to go and assist this along the way. And maybe this Eight of Swords energy of feeling confused or like there's no movement in this area. Perhaps this join in means that this is about your vibration again. That inner narrative. You know, the inner narrative should be, well, I don't know the answers. I'm putting myself out there. I could meet somebody amazing, and, you know, this relationship I meet could be a great relationship, and ultimately I'm going to try and work and put a positive slant on it, and who knows? It feels like that's your message. Okay, the next card is spiritual growth. This was one of the cards I was just speaking about that came out in my daily oracle on my Instagram this last week just gone. And this spiritual growth can mean so many different things for so many people. For those of you that identify with being spiritual, which is probably quite a lot of you to some degree because you're listening to these readings, this is just to tell you that with all this astrological changes and energies that have been moving, we had a lot of movement in Saturn last week, which is about karma, and these can be like old cycles, things coming back from the past, or can even be like, you know, memories of the past, which then trigger us to have all sorts of feelings. That could be one way in which it's affected you. For others, it's like this idea sometimes that we can feel drained because we're on this spiritual journey, and it's, you know, when we have this growth and we are changing and we're adapting, and, you know, we can try and be as flexible as we can, but it's a difficult path at times. Can be very draining, and it can be very euphoric. It can be a mixture of all these sorts of emotions. So they're just sort of saying to you this week, be aware of this spiritual growth. Some of you might just suddenly be getting interested in different areas. Some of you crystals, some of you reading, some will start reading up on topics of interest and asking these bigger existential questions about life and, you know, this exploration of spirituality and what it means. This is something that I think will be coming up for you this week also. This next card, the last card I'm going to pull on these changes card, retirement. So maybe one of you watching this, you're about to retire, or you're thinking you'd like to retire, and you're going through the process, like I'm sure, you know, some people get to a certain age and within their employment, they have to retire, and, you know, then they get their pension and so on. So it's just a natural progression. For others, they retire early, and it's a decision they make, a financial decision. But for some of you, you're going to be looking to either physically fully retire from the working world. So they're saying embrace it. It's a lot of change again. And that can, you know, have its positives hugely. This time of rest, recuperation, a different phase in your life. And, you know, that's exciting. And for others, it's quite frightening. It's this changes, you know, of having this purpose feels, you know, quite a scary concept for some of you. They're saying just embrace it, take day by day. But this is coming up for somebody. And for others, sat on this Lovers card, this retirement card can mean something coming to an end. You know, something physically coming to an end for you. And yeah, with all endings and beginnings, this transformation is can be tricky for us. I know. So be gentle on yourself. That's what I want to say to you this week. For those people that relate to that retirement card, go easy on yourself. You know, take things a step at a time, because then it doesn't overwhelm us as much. Gosh, if we try and think, oh, how's everything going to look all at once? It's just, wow, it's like head spin, isn't it? So they're just saying try not to do that. I did say that we had a lot of air energy in the reading this week. So sometimes too much thinking is not good for us. Not good for us at all. Okay, law of attraction. Now I'm going to look at these cards. I'm going to read them intuitively. I'm going to show you the cards that I pull. And then I'm going to actually read you what law of attraction actually says about it on the back of the card. There's a little write-up on each one. Okay, so way too many in there. Please, can you, law of attraction, tell us what vibrations we all need to be aware of and we all need to implement for this week. Okay, how many did you, okay, so we got two. We got two that fell out. So the first one, we are all co-creators within a diverse universe. Okay, so this is a number 8, 35 on the card, but in numerology, 3 and 5 go turn down to a number 8. So this is about abundance coming in for you. But this abundance coming in for you really wants you to just be aware that there's a lot of people out there in the world, in and around our circle of friends and our families and our work colleagues and so on. And sometimes we're all creating in very different ways, but all at the same time. So with that, we can't always see eye to eye about what each other are doing or what's going on in our lives. And this week, they really want you to just be compassionate for those people around you, even the ones you don't massively care too much for, but you have interaction with. It's asking you to be aware that it's not just you on this planet and in this world. So on the back it says, every physical being on your planet is your partner in co-creation. And if you would accept that and appreciate the diversity of beliefs and desires of all, you would have more expansion, satisfying and fulfilling experiences. Yeah, so if we show compassion, or show understanding, or even go as far as to say be open when it's regarding something you don't fully, you know, necessarily believe in or agree with. This is asking you to just be open and to listen and to maybe try and empathize outside of your own viewpoint. To end the reading today for this week, the last card is my emotional set points can be changed. So before I read it, for me, this is talking about understanding our own transformation. What we did last week or what we thought last week may not resonate with us this week or last year. This may be a very different year that you're entering into. Perhaps something you were really against at some stage, you'll now find yourself experiencing in your own life. I remember over the years having heard conversations or been part of debates with friends and family and even myself where a scenario has happened in one of our lives and we've sat there and said, well, I just could never do that, or can you believe such and such said this, did this, or look how this situation has turned out. And we sort of sit there, don't we, in judgment, even when we think we're not being judgmental. We kind of all have judgment in us within a degree because it's what makes us human beings. But this is really asking you to just be aware that in any transformation or any change, And let's face it, there's change like every minute of every day. Nothing stands still. Just to try and be unjudgmental of others and try to be understanding of ourselves when these changes are happening. Okay, so this is a card 27. So in numerology, that's a 9. So this is about coming to a close on a cycle of something. And it's just sort of saying, you know, it's better to say, I'm not sure how I feel, I don't know where this is going, than to make these sort of like big, huge judgments and comments about something and then find that we changed our minds or we're not that person anymore. So on the back of the card, it says, your set points are achieved by attention to a subject. We want you to understand the extreme value in deliberately achieving your own set points. Because once you expect something, it will come. The details of it may play out differently, but the vibrational essence will always be an exact match. Okay, so this is a little bit what I was talking about. If we make judgments of others regarding very specific circumstances, we bring that into our own reality the moment we voice it, because it becomes part of our own vibration. And that can be negative and that can be positive. So under law of attraction, they would say, be careful, you know, what you attract. Be careful what your narrative is. And if it's about achieving these great things, you know, let's make our inner dialogue, like I said earlier, these positive affirmations. You know, I have this ambition, and for me, it's certain. I'm patient and I do all the things that I feel I need to do, and then I give it time and patience, and then I achieve it. There's more out there for me. I easily receive these kind of energies. So I'm going to end the reading on this, but I just want you to know that, yeah, the more you do believe about yourself and the words you tell yourself, the more impact it has on your day-to-day life. Okay, before I go, actually, I forgot to pull you a couple of your romance angels. And I think for some, romance is going to be like quite a big thing this next week. So I really wanted you... Oh, okay, straight away. So this is all jumped out. So you've got 3 love cards just to end on. The first one is romantic feelings. Either you are really interested in somebody or somebody is in you. And it's just saying just to, yeah, be aware. Know that that's in the background. For some of you that are already within relationships, it says your feelings are real and worth exploring. Maybe you need to tell somebody you've been in a long-term relationship and you've taken stuff for granted. Maybe this week it's time to go and do something lovely. If you do a date night, maybe take them out somewhere nice or just show them you care. The next card you have is very soon. So for those that are single, looks like somebody is on the horizon for you. Be open to it again, like I mentioned though. Clearly decide what you want so that you can make it come to you. This is law of attraction again. If you have all these ideas that don't make sense or don't line up, it doesn't become your reality. So if it's something you want, be clear about what you want. And this is about boundaries as well. Be clear about your boundaries, what you're looking for, this sort of thing is going to be really important. Let go of control issues. If something isn't happening fast enough, let go of it. Let the universe, let it play out in its own sweet time. Allow this situation to unfold naturally. So don't overthink it. Is the ending? No, don't overthink love, whether you're single, whether you're in a relationship. Be clear about what you want. And yeah, show that person that, yeah, you are interested and you are up for it. Maybe you've just not been vocalising it, and maybe somebody somewhere's been in the dark. And after all, at the end of the day, they can't guess how you feel, can they? Take care. See you next week.